So as what was kind of explored in the last video that I uploaded is just coming to see what seeking is, which is a dynamic, you know. I mean, the ego isn't a thing. It's not out to get you. It's not an illusion whereby it is what experiences you. In fact, that is the illusion. The ego, how the ego tendency is something that kind of separates you from what we could say is real experience. So in that sense, the ego is a thief. It steals via an illusory process or dynamic the real experience. And the real experience is you as consciousness, the root source of any thought that arises, any emotion that arises, any body that arises. And when this awareness awakens, it doesn't go around blaming the ego. It doesn't go around being afraid of the ego. It's not afraid of anything, because awareness in its realization of its true origin, which is emptiness, or whatever you want to, however you want to define it, just comes to see that it doesn't matter what arises, the knowing of it remains undifferentiated. It actually remains permanently okay, you know. And from that standpoint, that is the experience of any thought arising. Because without the knowing of a thought, there's no thought. Thought cannot exist. And knowing comes first. So if knowing comes first, and that is the field, before any dynamics, then anything dynamic has its root in that field of perfect observation. So there's no freak out, there's no doing anything, it's just seeing, you know. So when it comes to the ego, it's not about the ego being one thing, so you be the other thing. That's ego, that's subject-object relationship, that's the opposite of something that doesn't do, you know, there's no definition to what you are as consciousness anyway. So consciousness is not the opposite of something. It's the root source of something. It's the root experience of something. Just understand that seeking or the ego, illusion, it's all down to a dynamic, a habit whereby you separate or forget your essential nature being the witness. Instead, you get caught up in the mental idea of you. What is this mental idea of you? That subject idea of you, it's the me, it's the where the mind has looked at your body and said, you know, I am this body. So what you've done there is the I am this body, that you are subject, but via where the mind has become a thought of yours, you become subject, and your body then is the object that your subject idea reacts to, subject-object relationship. It's crazy. So there we are. Look at the ego as a dynamic and just stop and observe. Come to understand this dynamic. Come to understand how when we identify with the body, we identify then with what arises out of the body and possesses the body. This is, again, this is where the mind becomes an idea of your body. That's it. That's all it is. So see it as that. Don't see the ego as something that you don't like, so you're doing the opposite of. All of that is ego. All right? There you go.